So I'm gonna give you a couple amazing tips here, okay? Because right now is basically a time where people are either doing nothing with their time or they're making the best out of what they have, okay? So hopefully you're somebody in the latter. But a couple friends of mine and I, basically everybody who hasn't been able to go to work, we've been taking some time off, we've only been seeing each other and lifting at my home gym. So this is a great example for not only training, but you have to use this time wisely, okay? Even the conversations we've been having here, most people aren't doing anything with this time. We don't know how long everything's gonna last here, and this is an in-the-moment update, but at the same time, you know, you gotta apply this towards life and everything, okay? Use time wisely, okay? There's a great quote that says, you'll never meet a poor man who values his time, and you'll never meet a rich man that doesn't. So what you have to do is you have to use this time wisely, okay? So of course that applies to things like training and doing your best to train at home. But most people are gonna come out of this the exact same, or probably for the worst, okay? You should honestly use this time for the better to build yourself up, okay? That's what you have to do during these times, because this is a test. This is a test of how you're gonna handle situations like this, because it's not often that you get, you know, time off of work. People are gonna be complaining in months, oh, I missed the quarantine. That's what people are gonna be saying, okay? They're gonna be missing when they didn't have to go into work. And there's no better time to get into a better routine, because you're not gonna have any more distractions or any less distractions than you have right now. Okay, so on to the training. Okay, I'll get into the training now, because this is what this video is about. It's about home training and golden era style training. Okay, so one of my buddies in particular, Sam, him and I have been, which by the way, you can follow him on Instagram, his link's there. Sam and I have been hitting the workouts almost every single day. And my cousin Felice, he's been coming over here too. We've been lifting. It's all been great. We've all been keeping each other on it during these times, because it's very crucial, like I said. But Sam and I lately have been doing some golden era style workouts, and we actually today did some of Vince Gironda's, basically one of his 6-week bulk course lifts. So basically one of those workouts. And we did arms today, but there's a couple key components here, just one principle I want you to take home from this video, okay? So the principle of this video is, with any weight here, because not everybody has like, you know, amazing selection of weights at home. That's why people get gym memberships in the first place. I have some good weights here, okay? I got like some 20s, 45s. Those 45s were like my Christmas present like a few years ago, because back in the day, I built up the home gym a good bit, right? Just to give you some, you know, background on me there. And my family's always been conscious of this stuff. They've always had like treadmill, and you know, this thing's practically older than me, probably older than me and you combined. Anyways, so the point is, with a lot of these weights, even if you don't have the heaviest weight in the world, it's all about the contraction. These weights are tools for contractions, okay? That's what they are. So when you see this 20-pound dumbbell, okay, of course, most people don't have 40-pound dumbbells or 50-pound dumbbells, but a lot of people have 10, 15, 20-pound dumbbells. Very common. And not everybody has a bench, but most people have a chair of some sort or something like that, and you can make do in some way, okay? But here's the point. So one of the exercises that called for in this course, which you can probably find from my buddy Golden Era Bookworm on his YouTube page, what it did was basically, here, I'll show you here, okay? I'm gonna set the camera up here in this sort of inclined position, all right? So you're gonna sit on the bench, and it's a mess here, but you're gonna lay down, and essentially, you know, you relax the shoulders, and then it's gonna be a curl upward, and you squeeze at the top, okay? And then you alternate. So the reason why I wanted to demonstrate that is because, like I said, these weights, they're tools for contraction. It's not necessarily about, you know, the heaviest weight in the world, okay? Of course, you can pick those up and, you know, incorporate those in there too, whatever. But that's not the point. The point is, you probably have enough already at home. And most people are focused on what they don't have than what they do have. And that's a metaphorical example for life, but in general, 20-pound dumbbell. It's a simple addition of a different angle and basically just a new area to stimulate that you haven't touched before. That's going to create massive reaction in your muscle gains. And that's the whole point. A lot of people already have stuff that is adequate to get the job done at home. So part of the reason I'm explaining this principle is mainly because people have the tools at home, and even if you don't, there's still, you know, bodyweight activities you could do. There's lots of other stuff you can do, and even if you don't have the heavy selection of weights, you can use your own body weight to create enough stimulus to get a muscle growth reaction. And depending on what you're doing, you could even be cutting right now, you could be bulking, it doesn't matter. The point is that your reference point should be yourself. It shouldn't be external circumstances. So essentially, if something like this happens, you're deciding, your decision maker internally is completely separate from external circumstances. So you won't just look at, oh yeah, shit, I can't go to the gym anymore. Of course, you can't go to the gym anymore right now. Suck it up. You can still make do with what you have at home. And that's the difference between people who get far in life and people who don't, is the resourcefulness. So that was a very mindset-oriented video, but it was needed. It's very much needed during these times. And I tried to weave in some golden era bodybuilding wisdom, because it is wisdom. Essentially, with the right tools at home, even if it's a freaking milk bag, okay? Or if you're not in Canada, you don't have milk bags, then you probably have like milk cartons. Whatever it is, milk cartons, those are probably even heavier, so use those. That's the point. Be resourceful and focus on the contraction, because weights are tools for contraction, and that contraction is a tool for destruction of your muscle fibers, from which you grow and you get results. That is it for this video. Follow my Instagram, follow my YouTube, and like this video, because it's very important. It's a very important video, despite being very, low production value. It's high value, low production value. All right, peace. All right, well, I wasn't gonna film this, but I thought, fuck it. Show you the ridiculous food I'm eating. So, in golden era style, I'm having some steak and eggs. I got like my sour cream and mayo on there as well. And then I got a bunch of raw eggs mixed with some cream, Vince Gironda style, because, I figured I did his workout today, might as well have the eggs the way he recommends. So, I'm a big fan of raw eggs, and I joke around with my buddies all the time because drinking raw eggs is tasty to me, especially when you mix some cream in there, right? And as I've mentioned, I have people hitting me up saying the 10 eggs a day recommendations are just blowing up their physiques, and I've had clients that do this, I have friends that do this, I have people in the comments saying they've done this. It's just incredible. And it's mainly due to the fats and the amino acids, basically beneficial cholesterol profile of the eggs. Raw eggs just makes it easier to eat a shitload of them, so it's basically your homemade mass gainer shake. But for me, this is my keto bulk, okay? This is like some keto bulk, documentation here, because I basically got, this is like 450 grams of steak, okay? And keep in mind, I always have a digestive enzyme when I have a huge meal like this. So, I enjoy this. This is like basically my meal after the workout. I had a whey protein shake because I want that anabolic insulin slam after a workout on a keto bulk. A couple hours later, let it digest. Then I get some fatty protein sources, so I have a steady stream of amino acids in my blood. And digested. So that's kind of the main principle behind all of this. And for me, I know the egg thing is a bit wacky. Realistically, you could just make an omelet. I just like, when I'm really trying to hit the calories, because I'm getting pretty aggressive during this keto bulk. So whenever I do a keto bulk, I normally do, try to get adequate calories, but that's never really the focus. Right now it is for a very specific reason. That reason being that I'm very aggressively keto bulking, because in the near future I'm going to be keto cutting. So I'm basically trying to pack on as much muscle mass as I can with the remaining few weeks of my keto bulk. So I'm going to turn into a keto cut very soon, but I'm just trying to get very aggressive with my muscle building. So, that's why I went for 10 eggs opposed to like a 5-egg omelet or something. Again, enzymes when you're taking a massive meal, no matter what your diet is always key. You can watch my video on 1,000 times more protein absorption from that, because it's all about the availability of amino acids, particularly leucine. And yeah, I know my steak looks like a mess, but I was kind of just lazy with it because I'm gonna go finish up some work after this. But I just threw a bunch of sour cream and mayo on there. Tastes good. And, high quality steak always tastes really good. That's why you gotta prioritize that. But yeah, I'm just enjoying a nice meal here, because basically 450 grams of steak plus sour cream and mayo, and then 10 eggs. You do the math. That's like almost 2,000 calories. So pretty damn good. All right, so I finished eating everything. I can eat a lot of food, man. That's just how I've always been. It's actually, for me, if I'm not eating keto, I've always been the type that, you know, unless keto kind of resets me for a while, when it comes to eating carb foods, I will just eat until I feel sick. And carb diets and flexible diets always felt like shit to me because I'd go to bed and I'd still be hungry and I'd be losing my mind and fucking biting off my arms and my legs. Okay, here's additional keto bulk tips, all right? So in this shaker cup, I have some essential amino acids and some creatine. And I don't use creatine all the time, but I threw it in here because, like I said, I'm very aggressively bulking right now. And you can use creatine on keto. It doesn't make a difference. Just get a good quality creatine, okay? I have links to that in the description, and I also have links to essential amino acids I like in the description. And the thing is, you know, it's one thing. This is where things get a little complicated, okay? Basically, the most important things, get high quality foods. Get high quality eggs, get high quality steak, you know, grass-fed is the best source. This is where you're gonna get the highest nutrient density and the least prevalence of pesticides and other things to make it into the food supply. So I'm telling you, get high quality foods. That's the main thing here, okay? When we're talking about the micromanaging extra little biohacky tips, that's where these essential amino acids and creatine come in. And what I actually did was I did throw in a small scoop of some BCAAs in there as well, just because, like I said, leucine availability is key for muscle growth. And that's already going to be in the essential amino acid, but I just have an amino acid cocktail in here. And it's just something I'll sip on throughout the evening, just because up until I go to bed, I want some good, basically, amino acid availability. And because I did one meal a day, basically, well, within a 4-hour eating window, my insulin sensitivity is going to be higher. My body's glucose transporters are going to be more active. They're more prepared, more ready to uptake nutrients. So that's beneficial. You can watch my carb backloading video to learn more about that. All I really have to do is go grab a digestive enzyme, because anytime you have a large frickin' meal, you should have a digestive enzyme. And I also had a magnesium glycinate supplement, just because I like having that before bed. Just helps me relax a bit. Magnesium glycinate and magnesium threonate. So it's actually linked in the description as well. Very high quality magnesium supplements are beneficial for almost everything, and most people are deficient in them. That's just a little side note of just some random stuff I do, because, you know, I do a lot of funky random strategies like that. Yeah, so that's the evening keto bulk routine, at least for the time being.